And welcome back to the Bros Watch the Expanse. Guy on the left here, guy with the hair over there. And we are here to discuss Season 6, Episode 2. What was the name of this one?
I didn't even look at the
Ah,
name.
no. It was Azure Dragon. I remember off the top of my head.
That makes perfect sense.
It makes a lot of sense.
We'll get into that later.
So, before we get into that, I do want to say I am not a fan of how very much rushed I feel through the first two episodes. You can tell that you can tell that there's only 6 episodes and that they're trying to wrap everything up, and I don't like it right now.
I don't agree, but I understand it. Like I 100% get that point of view. It definitely feels like it is going through a lot at once.
And I don't, and we'll get to this in a minute, but I don't get the same sense of a time in between things happening as we have in the past.
Yeah, definitely. I feel that. Because they in the books, it's easier to show time passing, right? Like,
yeah,
you don't have people watching 2 weeks while they're like transitioning between asteroids or something. In the show, everything has to keep moving. Obviously, you can't like show as deep relationships, as many things happening. So, yeah, it's definitely with this time travel and the like light delay and everything. It's a little harder for them to show that in TV form. But you know, we get what we get. They do their best with it.
Yeah, and also before we get started, still having problems with the mic. I think my mic might actually be shot, so we might have to get a new one to wrap up the season. So anyway, if anybody out there wants to, play Santa Claus, you're welcome to it.
I mean, that can still be a Christmas gift.
Anyway.
If you play your cards right.
All right, let's roll.
All right, so we start off, we're back on Laconia, we're back with the dying bird, the little girl, and like, they haven't said their names yet, right? The family that they show?
No names.
I don't think they said their name.
But this was our first look of the settlers that have landed on Laconia. And, she brings the dead bird home, whatever, man. Like, I got a bone to pick with.
The sunbird.
I have a bone to pick with literally every TV show and movie ever. Like, because kids,
I can't wait to hear this.
Children wreck everything, right? And like, all of these kids.
That's how life is.
No. But every single child that's ever been in a show can't be super dumb.
They are. That's how kids are in real life. They're dumb as shit.
There can't be. But dude, there cannot be that many. I would assume that if your parents were both scientists and you were traveling to settle on a new planet where you didn't know anything about it and everything was super dangerous, and your parents tell you everything is super dangerous, the planet will kill you. Yeah. Maybe you don't go out on your own to bury the bird and try to pick up the babies.
And, well, my thing is, I said this in the first episode where, like, she feeds the bird the protein bar, right? And it kills the bird. It poisons it. Because, of course, they're completely different ecologies. We have evolved in separate areas. Like, of course that's going to happen. And, yeah, it kills the bird. She finds out it's her fault. And then we find out that the settlement is, like, way better than the Belters. Because, of course, it would be. Wars had been at this a lot longer than the Belters, and they weren't running on like shoestring budgets, just carrying whatever they could.
Well, and they're growing. They mentioned they're growing their own food and all this stuff. So, but
they clearly planned it. They had been at this for a while. So the settlement definitely seems better.
Also, when she was like trying to pick up the baby bird, and of course she wrecks the drone again. But this thing, the critter.
That seemed like that wasn't her fault.
No, of course it was her fault. She's dumb.
Okay, but what if the strange dog had something to do with it? What if?
Bro, the strange dog. I thought for sure she was getting murked. I thought she was
gonna
done.
Kill her.
And if it was me writing the show, 100% she's gone.
Yeah, but like it very expectedly takes the bird. It was just looking for lunch, you know. It wasn't that bloodthirsty.
Is that not gonna kill the thing as well?
What? Kill the
dog thing?
Yeah, I mean, maybe if it's a poison bird, it could be. Maybe she wrecks the whole.
She just ruins the entire planet because she's a dumb little
The
kid.
food chain dies from this one protein bar that she feeds the bird.
Anyways, the only thing we really got from this scene that was important was there's some kind of urgent meeting among all the adults. You know,
Yeah,
I assume
everyone.
I assume it has to do with not only what's going on between the Belters and Earth, but also the disappearance of the ships as they crossed over, or lack of disappearance. I mean, that's got to come up. Because they show it again right after that in when Holden
Yeah.
shows it to somebody. So
And it certainly seemed like the Barkeith was one of the last, if not the last ship through the Laconia Gate. So, but like the timeline doesn't quite match up. Maybe they're talking about this as if it was 6 months ago from our perspective. I don't know. We don't know what it's about, so we'll see.
yeah. So, anyways, I mean, we move on. We get Rossi refilling at a UNN station, and we get what they said we were going to get last week. We get an extra crew member. Let's say, you know, they're being very secretive. Yeah, Bobby's back, and she's a badass because she is.
Yeah, that's just her thing. Like
Yeah.
her and Amos, man, they can handle anything.
And she basically says to Holden like, no, I'm in charge of this one. This is what we're doing.
Yeah,
Right.
I've got this. Know your role.
Yeah.
And when she was wheeling in the one like MMC crate, I was like, that's her suit. She got it.
Yeah.
She still got it.
Yeah. I was like, that's badass.
So yeah, they load them up with supplies and munitions and everything. And the one UNN guy is like, it's nice that we're all working together on this one for once, right?
Yeah, sure, guy. Get out of here.
Yeah.
Come on.
Like,
what are we
it's
doing?
not the time to be cheery, man. Just leave.
Yeah.
Just fill our water tanks up and leave, please.
Yeah. But so Bobby tells them like there's a slight change in plan when we're going after this satellite station here.
Yeah, we're gonna capture them.
Because we're gonna take it. Yeah, we're not gonna blow it up. I know Amos wants to blow everything up. Okay. Avasarala wants us to basically steal all their information.
Yeah. And yeah, so after that we get Philip in jail because
He's
straight up murdered his friend.
he has transitioned fully into emo teen angsty Philip.
Yeah, and like even though I love this show, it's my favorite show ever. The weakest storyline is Philip.
That's so bad.
And like it's not the dude's fault. It doesn't feel like the actor's fault. It's just like
He plays it. He plays it well because I hate him.
Yeah. That's good, right? Like
that's the biggest.
Joffrey.
It's the
You
biggest.
hated certain
Yeah.
people.
That's the biggest compliment that I can give him is that I hate Philip.
Yeah, and that's good. Like it's just, I think we all hate Philip. He's just this angsty, PTSD, power, arrogant teen.
I mean, I get it. Like everybody gets in their feels sometimes, but like you are at war and you could very easily die at any moment.
Yeah.
Like you gotta grow up, dude. Like there's a lot more pressing matters here. You can't just shoot your buddy because you're drunk and he pushed you.
Yeah. Yeah, like he didn't even hesitate either. Like he maybe had one or two drinks and he was just like,
Right. Yeah, wasn't
then-
even drinking really. I mean, let's be honest.
yeah.
Come on,
of
buddy.
Course, Marco
He would
and-
never cut it on sipping around.
Yeah, he would never. Marco and like what Glossenfeld? What I forget the second in command's name.
Yeah, something Feld. Yeah.
They cover up. They're like, yeah, he assaulted an officer, a superior officer.
Which you would do if your dad was in charge. I mean, like that's the whole like.
Yeah.
Do you know who my dad is, bro?
Yeah, he's in charge of the whole Navy.
Yeah. My dad's a lawyer, man.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So I guess I think I wrote something out of order here. So we'll just go to
Well, no, because then we get
they're going after the Azure Dragon.
Well, we get a
after
quick bit with reporter Lady Stewart.
Yeah.
Trying to
She
get
hears something's up.
Trying to get stuff, and I mean it's pretty easy to like everybody starts flying around the ship, and people are like real tight-lipped. Like obviously something's going down, but It's
And
not. You don't really get much from that scene.
I think, was it Holden that asked Bobby? They started talking about the ring disappearances, and it was like, "Hey,
Yeah.
have you noticed anything? Was there anything on the radar about
Right.
these disappearances?"
And Bobby says, I'll pass it along. Like, I'm sure we have data on it, or she mentioned something about some kind of info on it that she can get.
If Holden got it from the station or whatever, I guess the station, Medina Station, was recording it. Clearly, other people would have that information. So
right.
maybe they're just the UNN's trying to figure it out too.
Yeah. So, but yeah, then we go. Do we go right into? I mean, well, Philip gets bailed out by his daddy.
Yeah. Yeah, he gives him back his gun too. Like, okay,
I know.
America. Like,
zero.
What are we doing here?
0% chance I'm giving this kid a gun after he just shot his best friend, his only friend.
I'll hold on to this one for now. You get it back later.
Yeah, but I mean, I did think it was cool that Marco was like, basically was like, I think you've been punished enough. You did something really stupid. You lost your only friend. I can punish you more if you really want, but. I'm sure you're gonna beat yourself up over it.
Like, punish me, Daddy. He didn't say that.
That's a different. That's a different Expanse.
All right. So then, before we get into the coolest scene in the episode, they show Kamina Drummer and handing off Michio to Liang Walker, who we haven't seen or heard about before.
We haven't. But apparently, Marco is intimidated by him. Sexually,
yeah,
because he does say that he makes sure that everybody knows that.
Yeah, he's explicit about it.
Yeah.
And like they were trying to figure out where to put Michio. Like, is it safe to go here or here? The conversation kind of led to she's not going to be safe at any of these ports. We're gonna kind of go to these other ships, and she might be safe with one of them, but she's still going to be on a ship and not at a port.
Yeah. And that like he stayed with Marco just because he got caught up in the moment, and he probably
that was a little later because Drummer says like, you know what, I'll have that tour.
Right.
We should do that tour, because it kind of seemed like she had a light bulb moment.
Oh yeah, her wheels are spinning, buddy.
Yeah, that hamster's working overtime. And like they do eventually do the tour. There was a scene in between that, and I didn't write it down here, so I can't remember. I don't remember what it was, but they do the tour, and Drummer talks to Walker about hitting one of the supply depots, possibly multiple supply depots.
Oh yeah.
And I know what it was. It was Marco talking about the supply depots because he very clearly shows paths going to the ring.
Yeah.
And it seemed like that was their bug out. Like, we have all the supplies we need for these colonies.
If we got to bail,
Yeah, we're gonna take off. That's what it was.
Yeah.
And Drummer was just like, look, you got a few ships that Golden Bow isn't really super loyal to Marco. We should be able to use this.
Right.
So let's just
she throws out the main motivation, right? Little cashish.
Yeah. Let's get that fat payday.
About to make a rain on the belt, son.
Yeah. We're gonna do our own heat on Robert De Niro just walking down the street. All right, and then we get such a good freaking chase scene.
This is awesome.
I've said this many times, but like the space battles in the Expanse are so damn good, and I don't know how they make them interesting every time because it's space. Like there's no cover, there's no like advancing on something. Like, it's just two people out in like the middle of nowhere.
And I felt like this was the longest one we've gotten too, because it was a chase scene. There wasn't any fire back and forth, but they were like. I sometimes do get confused because, like, when they change direction, like they kill the engine, bam, the other way, but they do a good job of keeping everything in frame with the graphics.
Yeah, that's so important. Like, whoever the CGI team behind this stuff is so good because you said it right there. You can't keep the orientation because the background does not change. You're just out in space.
Yeah,
so like your relative position, it doesn't matter from stars that are millions of light years away.
Yeah.
And like they just show it so well. Like you have the Azure Dragon kind of cutting their engine and then going at a 90-degree angle. And of course, the Rossi catches up to them because it's a military vehicle. It's going to be faster, more maneuverable.
Also, surprisingly fast from the Azure Dragon. I was not expecting them to take off like that.
Yeah, like they should also be slower because they got a bunch of craps just like strapped. They're running from like a military Humvee and a beat up Civic. You know, like they're not going to get away.
Hey, what do you have against Civics, man?
Nothing, but you know. How about a Ford Focus, something with like a transmission problem,
right? or a water pump issue? I don't know.
Yeah, you know, something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, they eventually catch them. They get alongside, and Bobby, such a badass, just jumps out in the space.
Oh yeah, she's like, "No, get me close. I'll get on the ship."
Yeah, you get me close, I'll just jump for it.
Okay, while it's still moving, no big deal.
Yeah, and of course she has a little EMP device with it.
Right. Yeah,
hits it with the EMP.
Knocks out the engine real quick so they can, and then
they started assaulting the ship.
I just forgot her name. Naomi.
Naomi?
Yeah.
Yeah. Naomi, what I wrote down is Naomi has PTSD from raw dogging space. So
that's pretty accurate. Yeah, that's pretty accurate. Yes.
Yeah, she had exposure. Like, yeah, I'd be terrified. Like, I feel like her eye would still be messed up 6 months out. She'll still have like blood and everything in it.
I mean, yeah, she miraculously survived being frozen and crashing into a piece of metal. So.
Yeah. That would be terrifying.
Call back to last season.
I can't blame her.
Yeah. When everybody came at me in the comments.
Yeah,
that's fine.
Because
I don't know.
Wrong.
Have you ever jumped
wrong.
Have you ever jumped from one ship to another in the middle of space? No. So how do you know you don't crack apart?
Because scientists that are
more
information than you and I.
How many people have been out in space without a suit on?
I don't know.
Oh, well then
I honestly don't know. It might be zero at this point.
It is zero. Anyway,
right. We're not going to get into this again. Okay, but
continue.
They have a little fight on the outside, and Clarissa is the one that took Naomi's spot because she's like a learning mechanic. She was at least an apprentice level, so she kind of knew what to do. Naomi helps her from the inside, and as this one guy is trying to launch a rocket at Bobby, Clarissa does her thing. She bites her molar or whatever, and just.
I still don't know. They still haven't explained exactly what she's doing when she's crunching on something in her mouth.
They did. They said it releases hormones and things into like her endocrine system. So she gets jacked up on like adrenaline. But
I mean like the mechanics of like popping a tooth out. You know.
They showed it like on one of the screens at one point about like she just bites down on a tooth and it's like a switch going off.
Okay.
But yeah, she launches into the guy, the rocket misses, and she like nearly aspirates in her suit. She just throws up because we had seen her pass out and things before. But yeah, she's one and done with that, you know?
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna use it, a one-time deal, you might as well use it like that, right?
Yeah, she's snatching 1,000 pounds over her head and then just passing out on the floor.
Yeah, so, obviously not much of a fight, really. Especially once we get inside and Holden and Amos only have one guy to take out. Bam, see ya. He's trying to wipe the hard drive, obviously, they're able to stop him. They get all the data like they planned. Wham, bam, thank you, ma'am.
And then they see just hundreds.
Yeah.
An enormous amount of rocks that are still on their way to Earth or are ready to be launched at Earth.
Yeah, an impressive amount of stones, which is actually a big deal, and this is why Officer All wanted it, because now they know where they all are, and like she said in the previous episode, once they know where they all are, they can take them out. They can send the fleet after Marcos.
Yeah, and even more importantly, like they know the path, so if they have railguns, they can just shoot the railguns at the path and destroy them before they even get there.
Yeah.
And then speaking about Avasarala, after they show the rocks, she brings Monica, reporter lady. She brings her in and is basically like, look, I need you to do a feeling piece of what's going on Earth, what's being done to these people on our planet. And I know it won't turn the whole belt in favor of the Earth, but it might show some people what the suffering is.
I mean, at least she admitted that like not many people are gonna buy into this because it's kind of like these people have been radicalized by Marco
Yeah.
and you are at war with them and they have hated you for literally their entire existence. So
And
like
it's
a
even
propaganda.
more than that. Like they've been radicalized by a lot of the UNN actions. Like
Yeah.
even Fred Johnson destroying a peaceful spaceship. Like that's what turned him over to being a belter.
Right, and they've been basically oppressed by the Earthers and the Martians for, however long. So, I mean, okay, you might get a few people, but what are we? I think she's doing it, like, in my opinion, she's doing it more just to keep her busy, like, keep Stewart busy than anything. Like, she's tired of this lady, like, bothering her, and she doesn't want her sticking her nose where it's not supposed to be. And so she gives her this, like, and then she plays to her card, like, oh, and she even admits it, like, oh, you're pretty good at guilt tripping people, huh? So
Yeah, and then she was like, "I've practiced it. Yeah, I've practiced it a lot."
just like a good Southern grandmother giving you the guilt trip, they make you
We've never had that before, right?
make you do
That's
anything they want.
Man, I really wish someone would cover this suffering going on Earth. It's
Yeah.
a shame.
Anyway.
Bless their hearts.
But maybe you just don't want this war to end. I don't know.
Yeah. All right. So, the last scene is Marco being told that they caught the Azure Dragon. They know where all the rocks are, where all their weapons essentially are. And Marco's like, "Yeah, we're ready. This is what we've been fighting for."
Not exactly, right? Because to me, this was the only momentary chink in his armor, right? He kind of laughs, and like to me, it was like a nervous laugh, like, "Oh man, we are screwed."
They didn't find all the rocks, did they?
Yeah. And then he's like, "Okay, I gotta go back to being like, numero uno," and he's like, "You did say the fight would come soon enough, so here we go. We're gonna fight." But he knows what's coming for him.
One, I don't think they're ready because like Mars is probably going to join Earth in the fight, and they're just going to smash whatever Belter forces there are. Two, I think he's going to skip out.
Oh, he's not sticking around for that.
I think their last ditch effort might be that going back to season 4, talking about the asymmetrical engagement where you control the ring space. And
no, I think. I mean, since we're at the end, we can go ahead and do predictions. My prediction is he tries to bail, and whatever the proto-molecule red storm thing is, just rips him apart.
That could be an interesting end, right? Like the Free Navy backs out with their like colony ships and whatever, and all of them just get vaporized.
Yeah, he tries to run. At least his ship tries to run, and he gets whacked by the ring.
That would be interesting.
I mean, I think it's a perfect way to because he kind of has been a coward all along, right? Like, what has he actually done?
He's gonna like leave the Free Navy so that he can go off to one of the colony worlds.
And he hasn't actually done anything. Everybody else has done it for him.
Yep.
And so he's
even down to punishing Philip. Like he let him off the hook.
He doesn't do anything. This guy, he's a punk, little punk ass Marco.
Yeah, he gives his little speech in front of like 10 belters on Ceres, and then he's goes and orders people to kill people.
Right, exactly. So, I mean, that's how, if it's the last scene maybe, or close to the last scene, but he's going to try and run, and he's going to get whacked for it because he's a punk.
Yeah. I just want like something, give me something on the orbital platforms, please. They look so cool. I just want like a full scene where we see what they are, and I see Mars like activating one and blowing up a moon or something. Just
could be interesting for sure. So anyways, I mean, we got through that pretty quick. Like I said, I'm not pleased with the way I feel we're being rushed through this season. It's just it's very much like, okay, we told everybody we would have this season, and we're gonna just do it. We're just gonna get through it. I haven't been like mad at any of the episodes. It's just unfolding too quick. Like there's more. Like this is a war, and there's a lot more going on here than just like boom, 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 boom.
Yeah, and we have 4. We have 4 episodes left.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
normally we'd have 6 episodes done already, and there would be a ton of things that have happened. And there are a ton of things that have happened, but I just feel like Daddy Bezos didn't want to shell out just enough money for this. Like, he had to pay for the second private toilet on his ship, on his Blue Origin ship.
Bro, he could have paid for it, like, literally out of his pocket and not even known it. Not even known he did it.
Yeah, I'm sure he's collecting money somewhere and like, oh, 30 million for the season? Yeah, whatever.
Oops. Yeah, like what does it mean? He made that since we started the show.
It's a rounding error to him.
Incredible. Just give us the rest of the show.
Yeah, like if I was that rich, if I had billions of dollars,
I would do stuff like this.
Maybe just 1 billion. I'd be like, yeah, not only do I get money back from funding this thing, but I get to see like the best show ever, the most amazing thing. Yes, please.
Yeah. I mean, I would just do it. Like, literally not losing anything. It's your own show on your own network that people have to pay you to see.
Yes, like there's no, you're not even like marking up the price. You're essentially paying for it at the bare minimum of cost.
Unbelievable. I might need to talk to Jeff. Might send him a strongly worded email, maybe.
Yeah.
Do you think guys like him check email? Like, for sure not, right? Like, that guy that guy hasn't seen an email in 25 years.
He probably has the email account that his assistant reads to him, and then like his own actual email account where like 5 people have access to the address.
He has one assistant for one phone, one assistant for another phone, one assistant for one email, one assistant for another email, and another assistant just because.
Yeah. No, his real address is like Space Cowboy 1972 or something. I don't know when he was born, but that seems close enough to me.
Or like garage book sale at AOL.com.
I am God.
That wouldn't surprise me either. You know what would be,
like he's just had it for 20 years.
You know what would be great is if his ex-wife came in and was like, I got a bunch of money, I'll finish the show.
Yeah, I mean, she's too busy donating to like actual causes.
I mean, who wants to like
charity?
Who wants to make
show?
Who wants to make the world a better place? I mean,
God, it's disgusting. It's disgusting, Tim.
All right. Anyway, that's enough of our feud with Jeff Bezos for tonight.
Yeah.
If we're still around next week, we'll recap next week's episode. But Supreme Chancellor Bezos might have us taken off of YouTube. I'm sure he can do it because
that's a different company.
I'm sure he's paying attention to our podcast. So
yeah, he definitely is.
Okay. Yeah. Well. Anyway, that was episode 2 of Azure Dragon. Shorter episode, only 44 minutes runtime. So a little less than that when you take out credits and things. So
yeah.
Again, I would like to have more, but it's been good. What we've gotten has been good. It's just been too quickly paced for my liking.
Yeah, I see that. What if they were like surprised the last episode's 5 hours?
So there was a theory on like, shout out to Bob Fox and Clem over at Barstool because I watch My Mom's Basement all the time with all the Marvel recaps and stuff. And there was a theory after I forget which show, but that there was like gonna be a secret episode that they were gonna drop. I think it might have been Loki, and they kept saying like, maybe we're gonna get that episode. Like some people had mentioned on Twitter that they saw, and like maybe we're gonna get a secret episode drop right at the end of the season, like or like just out of nowhere it drops on Wednesday or whatever, But that which would be so gangster to do.
Yeah, that would blow my mind. Like, the people that produce this, Alcon Entertainment, they've made, if you look up their like filmography, they've made amazing stuff. They made like Blade Runner. They work with Denis Villeneuve. Like they do fantastic work. And this is just another thing where I'm like,
say Dennis's name again.
It's Denis, right? It's Denis Villeneuve.
I think it's just Villeneuve.
Okay, Villeneuve. That sounds like American to me.
No, but I'd be serious. I think it's
Villeneuve?
Well, I'm saying it with a very American accent, but yes.
Yeah. Villeneuve. That doesn't sound right,
Villeneuve. Close enough. All right, that's enough. That's enough. Get out of here.
Okay.
Okay. This has been the Bros Watch the Expanse. Season 2, episode 2 for us. Season 6, episode 2 for the show. That's right. We're not doing seasons. We're just doing episodes. Episode 12 for us.
Yeah, sure.
But yeah, make sure you give us a like, give us a follow. Leave us a comment, things you want us to cover, and then if you want to do a live finale, chime in and let us know.
I think we should. I think we have to.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. We need more views. If you guys want us to do a live finale, I need some more views here to make it worth my while. So, anyway, that is all for us. We will catch everybody later. You always do.